Tommy's awesome. He was recording a comedy album at my recording studio. So Tommy says, you know, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. He's a really cool guy, and blah, blah, blah. So I walk over to this guy. He's got gray hair, and he's got a real gray beard. And he turns around, and now I know what it feels like when fans look at me and go, It was fucking George Harrison. He's like, yeah, you know, Mom Jazz and George Harrison. I'm like, gabba gabba boogie gabba baba, gabba gabba. You know, yeah, no, I turned into a Teletubby. I mean, it was all fucked up, you know. So, you know, we had a nice time, and then we hung out. And there was some weird people there, like J. Paul Getty Jr. That's the guy cut off his ear, and he was in a wheelchair, he stroked out on coke. He was there, and there's just all these really crazy people, you know. So, you know, it's a really interesting party, and George says, you know, my friend over here says you got some guitars in your trunk. You want to jam? I'm like, George Harrison wants to jam with me. So I went to the bathroom, you know, and I cleaned myself up, and, you know, and I said, well, yeah, okay, you know. So anyway, I had these two guitars in my trunk. I just come from a session. So George it was about a year before he passed away, God rest him, and he was fighting cancer, and he'd come to LA to try alternative medicines. And so him and I went out on this, I guess you could call it a temple. It was like this white thing with a fire in the middle of it, and you could look below and see all of the ocean and Malibu and Santa Barbara and Santa Monica, and I'm not making this up. The sun was starting to set, and the sky was turning orange and purple and green, and I'm sitting there with George Harrison playing Beatles songs, and I'm like, okay, I died. I fucking died. I'm in heaven. Somebody shot me. I just didn't hear it. And it was the most wonderful feeling of all time, you know. It was really a one. So, and then he says to me, do you know any Beatles songs? And I'm like, have I ever been laid? Yes, of course. So it was a wonderful time. I miss him so much. I got to meet him several times after that when George was making his last couple of records before he passed away. And it's just one of those moments in my career that, and I have a picture, it's one of my treasured pictures, but people always look at it, because I had a beard at the time. I hadn't shaved in about 8 months. So it's me with a beard, Tommy Chong, and George Harrison, and we're holding a joint that's about this big. No, I shit you not, it's about that big, right? Because they were filming the cover of High Times magazine. So I assumed that the joint was fake. I mean, nobody makes a joint that big. You know, I figured it had fucking tumbleweeds in it or some shit. And they lit this, and I didn't smoke pot, but they lit this motherfucker up, you know, and then I'm getting ready to go play with George, and I am like, what's up? Yeah. I was fucked up out of my mind. But it was a beautiful moment, and I miss him, and I remember the 3 songs that we did together, and I'm gonna do those 3 songs I did with George Harrison.